Hey subbies and friends, this is Lady T, and I'm checking in because I wanted to talk to you guys about a conversation that I had with my sister the other day. We were sitting and talking, and she was just like, I think we were having a conversation about natural hair. My sister just has been, she transitioned to natural for about a year, and now she's finally natural. And her hair has been thriving, and we'll talk about that in another video. But basically, she asked me, how do you feel about natural women perming their edges? To be honest, I'd never heard of anything like that, but she said no, there's natural women who are keeping the ends natural but perming the edges. And I'll be honest, when I first heard her say that, I thought to myself, that sounds ridiculous. First of all, if you're putting a relaxer on your edges, I can almost guarantee you that that relaxer is touching your ends. And so I just didn't think that was healthy at all. I'm all about healthy hair. So anytime someone tells me some type of idea that I don't see as long-term, I'm gonna naturally say it doesn't make sense and I would never recommend it. And I don't think it's healthy hair care, but I feel like it goes back to that whole styling natural hair, the trend of natural hair. So when I heard that, I immediately said, oh, that's just people who like it for the trend, and nothing wrong with that. Some people are just wearing their hair natural for the trend. It's the hot thing to do. One thing I've noticed as the natural hair community evolved, you're attracting all kind of people. Okay, just like with anything, when you first get into it, it starts with passion, and then everybody likes. Some people will bounce on the bandwagon because of the trend of it, because it is beautiful and they do love it, but they may not have the same commitment to it as you know. And the people who have the commitment will always still be around. When the trends are gone, they'll be the ones still rocking that natural hair. They'll be the ones with the long, natural, healthy hair because they were committed to it. I'll be honest, if you're on this journey because you want healthy hair, I would highly not recommend to be perming your edges, because I can guarantee you that if the perm is touching your edges, it is touching the rest of your hair, even if it's just lightly. It makes me think about a time when I was scared to wear my natural hair. I used to wear braids all the time, and my hair had got really long, and I knew that I liked how long it was, but I had no idea how to take care of it. I just knew there was no way I was going to be able to take care of my hair. So the next thing other than a perm, I did a texturizer. And when I first did the texturizer, my hair looked amazing. It was like exactly how I wanted it to be. But then my new growth started to come in, and I started to get this weird texture, so I hurried up and put another texturizer on it. And you know what that texturizer did? It basically permed my whole hair, and my hair eventually fell out, not just because of the texturizer, but because I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I was not thinking long term. So what I would say to the women who feel they need to perm their edges, just know it's short term. Your hair will eventually probably 9 times out of 10 become damaged, because you're going to keep on doing the new growth. And think about this, your hair is going to eventually be damaged because you're starting with the new growth. So what happens in a few months when your hair grows again and the new growth is kinky? Are you going to keep relaxing it? So now you're going to have your roots pretty much relaxed, and the ends are going to be curly. It's not going to work. Your ends will eventually get straighter and straighter and straighter. And I'll tell you one thing, it is very difficult to manage 2 textures. Ask any stylist. When you have relaxer on one part of the hair and natural, it is very challenging, because the natural hair is usually stronger than the relaxed hair. Okay? And it's very interesting because usually when women transition, like my sister did, she has some challenges with her roots being so thick and her ends being so fragile, so her hair would fly away, it would break off. I think it's very interesting that it'll be the opposite, that your roots will be weaker and your ends will be stronger. But to me, what I would say is do whatever makes you happy, but just know that some of your decisions are short-term decisions, and you just got to make sure when you're making decisions that you know that eventually your hair will be damaged, and it will not. You're leading down a path of basically just relaxing all of it. And if that's what you want, keep going for it, you know? Or maybe you don't mind constantly cutting your hair off and starting over, and that's perfectly fine. Some people really are just doing hair for fun. They're not that serious about it. So when my sister asked me that, I was just like, man, it's like in the last couple of years, the natural hair community has gone in a whole lot of different directions. And I'll be around talking about it because I find it very fascinating. But I think it just goes back to people's personalities. Some people are probably better off just wearing weave because they do not care about hair that much to be committed to it in a way where the natural hair will thrive. Okay, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I just think sometimes that when you make decisions, you just, like I said, the bottom line is know what your long-term goals are. If you're planning to have long, beautiful hair, I would not recommend perming your edges, because you have to think you're going to have to keep up with it. And what that means is you're going to have to relax your edges every time you have new growth. And now we're back at the same thing that caused you to want to stop perming your hair in the first place. Okay, so that's why I'm not for that. I feel like if you're someone who wants ultimately a relaxer, then cool, go for it. But if you're someone who wants to embrace your natural hair and slowly see what it can really do, just stay away from the chemicals. They are not helping your hair in any way. They may be making it a little easier for you, but when you put a chemical on your hair, it is going to damage it. It's making it weaker. Even if you apply it with the best tactics and techniques, you are still ultimately breaking the protein down, because it takes a lot to break a curl pattern. So your hair goes under a very intense change and it does not revert back. Okay? But that's all I have to say on that. You guys chime in and let me know what you think about naturals relaxing their edges. What do you think is the root of that? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be talking to you soon. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.